in the conversation. Honorable, good morning. Are you there?
Yes, good morning.
So the interim chairman has alleged that you are, sort of, to summarize, have been
a tool.
You've been put aside for insubordination. What do you say for yourself?
Of course, he knows that he does not have the authority, he does not have the moral standing, he does not have the audacity. The ruling is explicitly clear. Go to paragraph 90.10.6, the judge deliberately stated that because of unity, decisions of the ITGC shall be by simple majority. Ask him how many people he sat with that agreed to remove me as secretary of the committee. He does not have the number, and you cannot take decision when you don't have the number. One thing he is feeling and he's thinking is that he is an executive chairman of the All People's Congress, which is not true. You know, he is just the head of ITGC, and ITGC is a committee instituted by the court to run the affairs of the party. So the powers the executive chairman would have in the APC, he does not have, because any decision the committee should make should be by simple majority, which he does not command. You know, he has performed to the extent that there are some people whom he appointed that have seen that he is not working to the progress, towards the progress of the party, and they have deliberately disassociated themselves from him. So now he has only 7 people in the committee, and 7 people in the committee can't run the committee. It is at variance with what is stated in the ruling of Justice Fisher.
Sorry, Honorable Abdul Karim would come to look at, the legality of the powers upon him to do that. But let's look at the allegations he made against you, that insubordination, when you're asked to put out a press release, you refuse to do that. Why has there been that hostility where you refuse to take instructions from the chairman?
Again, I am not to take instructions from the chairman. Let's go again to the ruling. The ruling says decisions of the ITGC shall be by simple majority. So I am obliged to take instructions from simple majority than the chairman. The chairman does not instruct or control the operations of the ITGC. The operations of the ITGC are deliberately as couched in the ruling of Justice Fisher, as to be dictated by simple majority. So the chairman can't go at variance with simple majority, and you expect me to go by the chairman as if a special power has been given to the chairman. The ruling is very instructive, the ruling is very clear, the ruling is very simple to understand, that decisions of ITGC shall be by simple majority.
And what constitutes the simple majority?
Say again?
What constitutes the simple majority?
In a committee of 21, the simple majority is 11. That is also in the advisory note sent to the committee by PPIC. You know, the number is clear. The committee is a committee of 21. So simple majority of 21 is 11.
Honorable Abdul Kargbo, are you banking on the wordings you've cited from the judgment? Are you banking on that to disrupt the progress or the leadership of Alfred Peter Conteh? To say, in other words, are you fighting the war of the vacated executive members of the APC?
No, let me make this clear. I am fighting against unconstitutionality in the APC. I am fighting against dictatorship in the APC. I am being very, very compliant with the rule of the court and the constitution of the party. Let me tell you where Alfred and I fell apart. Yeah? Alfred knew. In fact, when somebody called me to pay attention to the interview. And where I met is where he was reading the judge's ruling on resolved membership. Alfred didn't read the complete paragraph 90.10.4. He selected the first limit, which is a deliberate attempt to pervert the ruling of the judge. Let me read everything. In the first limit, that is what he read. The judge said we should resolve unresolved membership issues prior to the National Delegate Conference, pursuant to Article 10. Article 10 is dealing with new enrollment, is dealing with new registration. So if you have never been part of the All People's Congress and you attempted to be part of the All People's Congress, but there was problem along the line. Your membership issue was not resolved. Then the ICGC is obliged to do that prior to the National Delegate Conference. But let me read the second link, which is very clear. The judge said in his ruling, you can go to paragraph 90.10.4. He said, for those membership issues that need to be resolved at the National Delegate Conference, especially in pursuant to Article 13 F and G, should be included in the agenda for the National Delegate Conference. Let me tell you what Article 13 F and G says. In fact, Article 13 entirety is dealing with forfeiture of membership, suspension, expulsion, and the article is very interesting. G is saying, F is saying, if you have been suspended, if you have forfeited your membership, if you have resigned from the party, if you have been expelled from the party, the only competent body that should admit you into the party is the National Delegate Conference. That is why, in his wisdom, Justice Fisher stated that it should be included in the National Delegate Conference. And let me tell you, all of us want Chief Sam Sumana to come back to the APC, because with that number we cannot win the elections. But again, we cannot attract litigation. We cannot create the opportunity
Honorable Abdul Karim,
to take the party to court. Let me just
Honorable Abdul Karim, is this a fight between Chief Alhaji Samuel Sam Sumana and Dr. Samura Marti Wilson Kamara, using the faces of Alfred Peter Conteh and Honorable Abdul Karim?
No. Let me make it clear. We have had more than 6 meetings to 7 meetings where we have invited most of the flag bearers to the ICGC. We didn't invite Dr. Samura Kamara. Alfred will tell you that we have sat with more than 6 or 7 flag bearers, and Dr. Samura Kamara was not invited to that meeting. We have sat in a meeting with the Big Six on several countless occasions. Dr. Samura was not invited to that meeting. They just want to create a picture, an imaginary picture. We have been very much unbiased. You understand? But let me tell you what is happening. Alfred thinks he has the audacity to go against the ruling of Justice Fisher. He has the audacity to go against the advisory notes of the PPIC. He has the audacity to go against the Sierra Leone police. And he has been doing it with impunity. Nothing has resulted. You see? And let me tell you, he has shown clearly how can you forge a receipt. How can you forge a receipt for Chief Sam Sumana, and backdated it to 2016, from 2016 to 2022, when he knew that Chief Sam Sumana contested 40-40 in 2018. And let me tell you, Samuel, please, let me tell you, Alfred took this party to court because some people went against the constitution of the party. And at the end of the day, we had to spend 4 years in court, and at the end of the day, the judge ruled against the party.
Honorable Abdul Karim, Honorable Abdul Karim, Alfred Peter Conteh has submitted here this morning that they've called about 9 meetings and you guys have not shown up.
That is
you, the members of parliament, you've not shown up. You've held the committee to ransom and they can no longer wait for you. So in other words, you're not treating the committee with seriousness. You feel and operate like you own the APC, and that is killing the progress of the APC. Is that anything to go by?
That is fallacious. I expect the truth to come out from Alfred as he seated there. That is fallacious. That is malicious. They have never summoned 9 meetings. It's a big lie. It's a big lie. And let me tell you how we normally summon meetings in the 21-man committee. It is myself, the secretary, who sends the meeting notice to every member of the committee. That is how it has been happening since we formed the 21-man, since we constituted the 21-man committee. So who can call meetings in the 21-man committee? It's the secretary. So if I don't call meeting, who else has the power to call meeting? And I have called meetings countlessly. I have sent the notice to the chairman. I have sent the notice to other members, and they have deliberately refused to attend these meetings. But in the past, they were attending meetings summoned by me.
So are you saying, Honorable, just quickly out of curiosity, are you saying you've also been calling for meetings, but the chairman and these people have not been attending, and he also have been and these people have been calling meetings you've not been attending. So there is a clear line of division here that you have two ITGC running the APC.
No, not two. We have only one ITGC, and the decisions of that one ITGC should be by simple majority. The meeting I called was attended by 14 members of the committee. 14 members. Ask him, as he seated there, how many people attended this meeting. If you are not well constituted, you don't have the right to take decisions on behalf of the ITGC. If you are not well constituted, you don't have the finesse to take any actions on behalf of the ITGC. Alfred, APC was not handed over to you. APC was not handed over to you. APC is an organized political party. You are just the head of ITGC. You are not to run APC as you do in your family. APC is not your family where you tell your kids, go and stand there, go and sit there, go and do this. And we have been tolerating it for quite a while.
Honorable Abdul Kargbo, just quickly, who would you want to be the flag bearer of the APC?
Anybody who wins in the National Delegate Conference. That is why we want to create a level playing field. We don't want to go against the Constitution. Let me tell you the intention of Alfred. He wants to go against the Constitution by illegally reinstating Chief Samsumana so that other flag bearers will take the party to court, and the party will not have the right to contest in the 2023 election. We have stood our ground. We have said nobody will go against this Constitution, and the decisions of ICCC are going to be by simple majority.
If you are accusing Alfred Peter Conteh of being a sellout, Alfred has also submitted here that, I mean, you people are being financed by some state institutions, Honorable Abdul Kargbo. So in essence, he is saying you have sold the party out to the ruling class and fanning the disunity. I mean, that's deep-rooted feud is becoming bold because you've taken monies from the state to kill the party.
Again, you see, the Bible says, as a man thinketh, so is he. You know, he has collected money from people, and he is under obligation to satisfy those people. You cannot collect more than 200 to 300 million from a flag bearer, and you have promised the flag bearer that you will reinstate him as against the Constitution, as against the ruling of the judge, and you have not succeeded in doing that. You think you can force your way in doing that. You have all seen in the open that monies have been given to him for which he has not accounted, and he is so insistent, he is so dictatorial, he is so disrespectful of Constitution, of state institutions. When we went to PPIC, he spoke to the chairman with arrogance, and that is the man that is said before you. You cannot blame for democracy when you yourself is not democratic. So we are not going to allow any further dictatorship in the party.
Honorable Abdul Kargbo, what's your biggest issue with Alfred Peter Conteh, and what would it take? And what would it take for yourself and the entire ITGC to work together in the interest of the party?
Now, our biggest problem with him is that he thinks he has all the right to take decisions on behalf of the party because he is chairing the ITGC. Even though the judge in his ruling said decisions of the ITGC will be by simple majority. And he has been using the ITGC for his personal aggrandizement. You couldn't believe it that as Mr. Conteh wrote a letter for financial assistance to all the embassies in Sierra Leone. It did not inform the committee. He went there surreptitiously with the intention that they will give him the money so that he will keep the money for his own personal aggrandizement. Peter Conteh collected money from various people. Up to now, he has not accounted for a dime in the money that he collected. He is using the party for his own personal aggrandizement, and he will not kill the party some of us have suffered from. He was nowhere. He was nowhere to be seen. Most of us who suffered for this party, who were in university, killing ourselves for this party, never knew him. He was imposed on the party.
Honorable Abdul Kargbo, what would you consider? Because I mean, you, the members of parliament, are very integral components within the governance structure of the APC. Alfred Peter Conteh, as chairman of the ITGC, is very integral in that structure of the APC. What would you consider to be the reformatory way forward in ensuring that this bad blood, you both are showcasing, are displaying or exhibiting to the public, I mean, is coiled down and puts the interest of the APC above your individual interest and sentiments.
It is because of the interest of the APC that we are against anybody who wants to go against the constitution of the party, thereby attracting litigation against the party. It is for the interest of the APC. It is for the interest of the APC that we don't want to go against the ruling of Justice Fisher so that the party will not be held responsible. It is for the interest of the APC that we want everything to be done accordingly, and we don't want dictatorship again in the party. So all that we have been doing is for the interest of the APC and not for the personal interest of Alfred Conteh. He does not seek the interest of the party. That is why he is against some of us when we have stood our ground to ensuring that we don't do anything that will attract litigation against the party. If anybody takes this party to court, there is every proclivity that this party may not go in 2023 election. So Alfred Conteh alone would not, in any uncertain terms, do anything that would warrant this party to be sued again.
All right. We have to round off the conversation, Honorable, but we'd have to pause here. We'll definitely create more platforms to have this conversation had. But Alfred, just quickly, Honorable Abdul Kargbo has also accused you of forgery, that you forged receipts to just, comfortably situate Sam Sumana. We think the APC, you backdated the receipt. He's also accusing you of misappropriation and corruption. And these are grave allegations, for a leader.
So thank you for that, and I think it's good he was allowed to say whatever he said. I need to make few things clear.
Go ahead.
Number one, I did not backdate the receipt. I think what he meant to say was we allowed the man to pay his backlog dues. That's what it was. But the date on the receipt is the exact day that he made the payment. Okay? You know, I need to laugh. It's funny.
But who has the mandate to issue receipts? Is it the chairman or the secretary?
I didn't know, the head of the finance committee.
Okay, when payment is made.
Yes, it's the finance committee. So that receipt was issued by the head of the finance committee. Now let's go to all this noise, and let me use this opportunity to put it to rest. The former vice president's situation in the APC is different from anybody else. The letter that you referred to, when he writes the letter to the now defunct executive that he's looking to come back, we were under the 1995 APC constitution. Now we're under a different constitution, which is the 2022 constitution, the constitution that reformers fought for to exclude every selection and certain issues in it. Now, in this new constitution, prior to the situation we're in, the Secretary General back then wrote a letter to Chief Sam Sumana saying, you've been reinstated to the APC. Reinstate. So him paying all the money that he's talking about, he paid from 2016 when he was kicked out to date. So that's the thing.
Reinstated, but subject to the approval of the National Delegates Conference in that very letter.
That's based on the 1995 Constitution.
Yes, but it was stated in that letter.
Yes. Now we look at the 2022 Constitution. In the 2022 Constitution, there is no room, there is nothing here that mentioned the word reinstate. In this Constitution, it says readmit. So if somebody is coming back from expulsion, that he just said expulsion and all these false things that they were doing, and want to come after, then he's coming back to be readmitted, meaning everything is done, his tenureship is coming to a fresh start. He's readmitted, okay? These people, they told him he's been reinstated. And the word reinstated is not something that came out lightly. It came from the lawsuit. I want them to read. They don't read. It came from a lawsuit with ECOWAS that he won. And in that judgment that they gave, they said he must be reinstated in his political party. So that's why the man that hates him the most, that even made
Was it in his political party or as vice president? That statement from the ECOWAS, the judgment.
The vice president thing, that's another section.
The reinstatement from
I'm
the
talking
decision
of the party.
of the ECOWAS.
Yes, from to the political.
Go ahead.
So that's why they use the word reinstatement. So when you use the word reinstatement, the judge said, yes, when you go to convention, this particular Article 13, F and G should be included in the agenda for those people that fits this particular category. He's not one of them. He was reinstated, and there's no reinstatement here. And even in this, it's not like you are forced to do it. And when you write a constitution, you don't use the word may. May means it's optional. They said he may apply and do this and do that. It's may, it's not must. So the whole argument about this man, he's been reinstated, you reinstated him, and now he's in. So we don't have anything about that. Now let's go to the allegation
of misappropriation, corruption, and soliciting funds secretly, surreptitiously in his words, to the embassies.
I've never solicited funds to embassies. I've never signed a letter that I'm aware of to any embassy soliciting funds. If he had the evidence, he would be all over the world right now. So those are just part of the allegations that makes me bite my lip sometime and say, wow. But you can tell he's angry and all that. Let me tell you, he spoke about simple majority, okay? The ruling says decisions, underline the word decisions, by the ITGC is by simple majority. Sierra Leone, we just completed voters registration, correct? So let me say ECSL came out with 3.5 million registered voters. On the day of decision making, 2023, I see it there, decide 2023, right? On that day of decision making, if out of the 3.5 million registered voters, only 1.2 million shows up, or 1.5 million people shows up to vote, are you going to tell me their decision is not going to be counted?
But it's not the same in this context.
It is the same. The judge did not say it's you should have 11. He said decisions, and decisions are taken in meetings, right? You take decision in a meeting. You don't take decision as, we've never been in a meeting after the first few meetings.
He clearly spoke about the simple majority being that it's 21 people, it would have to be 11.
Now, it's simple majority of people in a meeting, participating in a meeting and ready to vote. Okay. If you're not in the meeting, you can't say simple majority of 11. If we say, the judge never said that. And again, in the APC constitution, Article 21F, it says meetings in the APC is 1/3. 1/3 forms a quorum. So if we have 21 people, 1/3 of 21 is 7.
And also he's made other allegations about the issues that you took the party to court for. You're now found guilty of those issues.
Well, he wasn't able to put them into perspective, because what issues did I take the party to court for? I took the party to court because they did not follow the Constitution. And I have followed the Constitution. He's talking of Constitution. I'm quoting Constitution here. Everything we've done, the simple majority, the judge never defined it. So what did we do as law-abiding citizens of this country? I said, you know what? How do we hold meeting? Because they're not coming to the meetings. We went to the APC Constitution. We look at what you call meetings. In the meetings, we have 3 sets of meetings. Emergency meetings is 2/3. Convention, the National Delegates Conference, is 50% plus 1. Regular meetings, which is what we're having, is 1/3, is what forms a quorum. So 1/3 of 21 is 7. So if we call a meeting and they boycotted the meeting, we sat in that meeting, we took decision that will affect them, they have no way out but to accept it.
Alfred,
it is legal and we're going to go by
as we round off, how inclusive can the IGTC be? You mentioned that you've called meetings, you invited flag bearers. Honorable Abdul Karim is saying, oh wait, they did not invite Dr. Samura Kamara. So it's becoming very apparent that the fight is between Sam Sumana and Samura Kamara in the APC, and Sam Sumana using the face of Alfred, and Dr. Samura Kamara using the face of Abdul Karim. And so what's the way forward?
Let me address that, then I answer your question.
Right.
They held a meeting wherein they were calling for my death, they were calling for all these things. And who was in the meeting? He said they never invited him. It was Dr. Samura, Usman Fode Yansane, a guy from McKinney who was the regional chairman for the North, Ali Komona. They came in and they've been regrouping. They've been trying to do something. And it's not like they're going to use democracy, they're going to disrupt and use violence. Those are the two things. And I'm using this opportunity to alert securities. That's why we wrote them. We wrote the police that moving forward, we wrote the ONS as well. Any meeting in the APC must be approved because we know what led to
in
us
the premises, you mean? In the headquarters or anywhere?
Anywhere. Because we know what led to this government accusing our party as a terrorist party. So we don't want to repeat the same. Okay. But since in the past 6 or 7 weeks, we've noticed the police has been, they gave us a letter one day saying these 2 meetings are cancelled. But they went ahead and just walked by the police and went in and held a meeting. One of them is the meeting where I told you Dr. Samura was there. It was just them, the same sets of people trying to shake things again. But the reality now, you speak of, you ask about the way forward. The way forward. The way forward is there's one ITGC, there's one chairman, court-appointed chairman. I saw a tweet from the Honorable Abdul Karim that they've replaced me, and they met. I think they held a meeting. They've appointed a new chairman, something Dumbuya, SBB Dumbuya. And that is in itself a contempt.
Who have you appointed as secretary to the committee?
Well, because of the behavior, we don't want to take chance. We have a secretariat, a committee, and then as time goes on, we'll say you do this and you do that.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, we cannot run through your message.